In a world full of noise and distraction, some people carry a quiet force. They don't need to speak loudly to be heard. Their presence alone commands respect. You've seen it. Maybe you felt it. That sense of power that can't be faked. It's not about wealth, fame, or flashy appearances. It's energy, pure, magnetic energy. And when your aura radiates that kind of power, people notice. They may not understand why they're drawn to you, but they feel it deeply. In this video, we reveal 5 signs that your aura holds this silent strength. The kind of strength that speaks without words, that moves through a room without trying, that warns, protects, and inspires all at once. If you've ever felt different, watch closely. What you carry within you may be rare and far more powerful than you realize. Sign 1: heightened emotional sensitivity and intuition. When your aura radiates real power, your mind operates on a different frequency. You no longer take things at face value. You listen beyond the words. You observe what's not being said. You sense tension before it erupts. You detect shifts in energy the way a warrior senses movement in the dark. This isn't paranoia, it's precision. It's the result of inner stillness and disciplined awareness. You've trained your mind to stay calm, even when emotions rise. And in that calm, your perception sharpens. You walk into a room and feel the undercurrents. You know who's hiding something, who's afraid, who's trying too hard, who can be trusted. This is your intuition at work. Not some mystical force, but a refined ability to read the emotional landscape with clarity. This kind of insight makes you dangerous to manipulators because they can't fool you. They can't bait you with emotional games or draw you into false arguments. You recognize projection, blame shifting, gaslighting, long before it takes hold. And rather than react, you disengage. You detect. You choose silence when others expect chaos. That silence, that refusal to play their game, becomes a shield. And your shield is powerful because it's rooted in understanding. You've studied people, not to control them, but to avoid being controlled. At the same time, this sensitivity becomes a gift in the right hands. It allows you to lead with empathy without losing your edge. You can protect others because you sense what they cannot see. You can build alliances based on truth, not illusion. And you can see potential where others see only weakness. But it only works if you stay grounded. If you let your perception guide your response, not rule your emotions. That's where most fail. They feel deeply, but they're unstable. You feel deeply and remain unmoved. You choose your reaction. You time your response. And when you speak, it's with clarity, not confusion. This is why people begin to rely on your presence, why they come to you when others fall apart. Because you don't just sense what's going on, you stay strong enough to handle it. And that strength, when paired with intuition, becomes rare. It becomes the foundation of influence, protection, and trust. You become the one who sees through the storm and walks straight through it. Untouched. Sign 2. Unexplained attraction from others. When your aura radiates strength, it doesn't ask for attention, it commands it without effort. This kind of energy cannot be faked, and it cannot be borrowed. It comes only from the long, quiet process of mastery, The man who carries this presence has built himself in silence. He has chosen discomfort over distraction, discipline over indulgence, and principle over popularity. People around him can sense this. Even if they don't know your story, even if they've never heard your voice, they feel your essence. It's like gravity. Quiet, invisible, but powerful, and impossible to ignore. Your presence disrupts the patterns of the weak. In a world addicted to stimulation and approval, your stillness becomes a mirror. It reflects who people wish they were and who they are not. That's why people stare longer. Why they stumble over their words when speaking to you. Why they get nervous, excited, or unusually respectful without knowing why. It's not about intimidation. It's about resonance. They feel your energy, and their body responds, even if their mind hasn't caught up yet. This attraction is not always comfortable for you or for them. Some people will try to get close to you because they want what you have. Others will try to test you, trying to break your calm so they can feel powerful in your presence. But your strength isn't shaken by their games. You don't react. You observe. You respond only when necessary and when you do. Your words carry weight. That restraint, that economy of energy, is what sets you apart. The powerful man doesn't speak to fill silence. He speaks to move minds. This energy will follow you everywhere in business, in relationships, in social settings, and with it comes both opportunity and challenge. People will offer you things, others will want to be associated with you. But always remember, true power lies not in how many follow you, but in how firmly you walk alone. When your aura speaks louder than your voice, you must remain vigilant, humble, focused, because the very energy that draws people to you will also attract envy, manipulation, and distraction. Stay centered. Stay disciplined. Let your energy speak, but never let it be wasted. The world watches closely when a man walks in quiet power. Make sure what they see is real, unshakable, and earned. Sign 3: natural boundary setting and intuitive energy management. As your aura grows stronger, you begin to recognize that not all battles are worth fighting. Not every conversation deserves a response. Not every person deserves a seat at your table. And this awareness transforms how you move in the world. You no longer tolerate the noise. You no longer explain yourself to those who refuse to understand. You've trained your spirit to remain still in the presence of disorder. Not because you are weak, but because you refuse to lower yourself to the level of chaos. That refusal, that calm rejection of drama, is what sets you apart. It tells others, without words, that you value your peace more than their approval, that you will not bend for comfort, nor allow your focus to be fractured by people who operate without purpose. This level of discernment doesn't come from arrogance. It comes from experience. You've watched your energy get drained by the wrong company. You've wasted time explaining your value to people who couldn't see it. You've poured into relationships that never poured back. But no more. Now, you listen more than you speak. You watch before you engage. You feel before you act. And in that stillness, you detect the patterns of people. You see through smiles that carry malice. You sense agendas masked as kindness. And rather than confront every threat, you simply remove access. You disappear. You withhold. You guard your ground with the sharpest defense of all detachment. This way of life isn't about isolation. It's about elevation. When your boundaries are firm, you don't live in reaction. You live in strategy. You don't move based on how others treat you. You move based on what aligns with your path, and this turns you into a fortress. Not impenetrable but selective. Not bitter but focused. You choose who gets your time. You choose where your energy flows. And when something feels off, no matter how charming, no matter how familiar, you cut the cord, because your soul knows what it needs, and you no longer betray it for the comfort of others. That's what it means to carry strong energy. You manage your presence like a weapon, polished, hidden, and only drawn when necessary. You are not controlled by the emotional noise around you. You stay in command. You watch quietly. You move when it's time. And in a world drowning in distraction, your calm control becomes a rare force. A boundary that doesn't need explanation. A line that others dare not cross. Because your energy, once scattered, once wasted, is now fully yours. And it answers to no one but you. Sign 4. Enhanced manifestation abilities and frequent synchronicities. As your inner world becomes more ordered, disciplined, and intentional, your external world begins to mirror that structure. What once felt like distant goals begin to draw near. The things you used to chase now start moving toward you, not because you've become entitled, but because you've become aligned. You are no longer scattered. Your focus is sharp. Your energy is clean. And the universe, in response, becomes cooperative. You begin to experience synchronicities, events, and encounters that arrive at just the right time, without explanation. But they are not random. They are the natural result of internal mastery. The man who knows who he is, who walks his path with discipline and silence, attracts what belongs to him, not out of desperation, but because of alignment, because of authority, because he no longer sends mixed signals to the world. This ability to manifest is subtle, but powerful. It starts with self-awareness, knowing what you want, why you want it, and what you are willing to endure to get it. You remove what doesn't serve your vision. You stop entertaining what dilutes your energy. And as the noise fades, your intentions become precise. Your actions become direct. There is no hesitation, no need for external validation. You are acting in harmony with your inner code, and that integrity becomes magnetic. Life begins to respond. You meet the right mentor at the right moment. You stumble upon the book that shifts your perspective. You walk away from something you thought you needed only to discover something greater was waiting for you. These are not coincidences. They are confirmations, signs that you have entered a state of power, where your thoughts and your environment are no longer in conflict. But this power comes with responsibility. If your mind is poisoned with fear, bitterness, or distraction, your reality will reflect that. If you allow weakness, your life will be filled with struggle. But when your energy is clean, when your boundaries are strong, your intentions clear, your silence disciplined, your life begins to obey. This is not arrogance. It is simply cause and effect. Power is quiet. It doesn't boast. It doesn't demand. It aligns. And when you are in alignment, you move through life with a calm authority. You don't chase. You choose. You don't plead. You prepare. And everything you attract from that point forward is earned through stillness. through vision, and through a deep refusal to be anything less than what you were meant to become. In this state, you realize something profound. Manifestation is not about magic. It is about clarity. It is about becoming so focused, so centered, so unwavering in your presence, that the world has no choice but to adjust. The noise fades, the distractions fall away, and what remains is a path built not by luck, but by discipline, patience, and quiet strength. A path that reflects the man you've become, the man you chose to be. Sign 5. Physical manifestations of energy. As your inner power grows, your body begins to reflect the discipline of your mind. This transformation is not about building an image. It's not about flexing muscles or chasing aesthetics. It's about alignment. When your thoughts are sharp, your posture follows. When your emotions are steady, your movements slow down. You're no longer twitching with anxiety or shifting nervously. You become still, solid, focused. People might not know why they stand straighter when you walk by, why they lower their voice slightly, or why they feel the urge to explain themselves in your presence. But they feel it. Your energy carries weight, real, grounded weight. Your presence becomes a statement. You don't enter a room hoping to be noticed. You enter with quiet certainty. And people notice because they can't ignore the force you carry. Your voice may not be loud, but it's clear. Your eyes may not glare, but they observe, and your silence, it speaks louder than empty words. You conserve your energy. You don't waste gestures. You don't move unless there's a purpose. That kind of control sends a signal, one that others interpret without needing explanation. It says this man is not to be underestimated. This man doesn't bluff. This man has done the work. And when conflict arises, you don't panic. Your breathing stays calm. Your face remains composed. Your reactions are measured because you've trained yourself to never be a slave to emotion, to never give your power away through unnecessary reaction. This control doesn't mean you're rigid. It means you are deliberate, flexible when needed, unshakable when it matters. You've become a man who can be still in fire. And people respect that, even if they can't put it into words. Your energy also creates distance, not because you're cold, but because you're precise. You don't invite everyone into your space. You don't tolerate chaos or disrespect. And people sense this boundary without you needing to draw a line. They feel it in the way you look at them, in the way you carry yourself. You're not trying to be intimidating, but when you've mastered yourself, others instinctively approach with caution or reverence. That's the effect of true inner power. It extends outward into your body, your expression, your very walk. And when your entire being is aligned with calm, focused intention, your aura becomes impossible to ignore. If you recognize these signs in yourself, understand this: you are not ordinary. You are walking a path that few have the strength to choose. A path of quiet power, of disciplined energy, of unwavering presence. You are not here to be consumed by the chaos of others. You are here to stand as a force calm in the storm, precise in your choices, and unshakable in your values. Your aura is not a decoration. It is a shield, a signal, a statement. And the stronger it becomes, the more you must protect it. Not everyone deserves access. Not every situation deserves your energy. Remain vigilant. Remain disciplined. And above all, remain aligned with your inner code. Because when your mind is clear, your actions are focused, and your presence is rooted in silence and strength, the world moves differently around you. You don't just attract, you command. You don't react. You respond with purpose. This is your power. Own it, guard it, and never apologize for it.